Hello, welcome to HITC Sport, and someone please take the credit card away from Barcelona. I mean, last week I did a video where I laughed until my tonsils turned white at Real Madrid, but this video, this isn't even funny. It's just sad. Barcelona are a football club who are financially crippled from the waist down. If they were in human form, then Christ above, they would be living in a sleeping bag outside the McDonald's drive-thru. Mosey stinking of vinegar, tears, and pregnant cat piss. Christ above, they would be rummaging outside the bins of Subway for a half-decent breakfast, and most likely trying to mug the postman outside Poundland. Right now, Barcelona Football Club are like Kirk Van Houten and losing a Barca icon like Lionel Messi. That was like losing their goddamn wife to some sleazy, wealthy banker from Paris, who over 10 years ago was just living in his mum's attic, selling bags of his own sweat on Gumtree. The entire of 2021 has been a complete and utter nightmare. So someone please explain to me how they've managed to end this year by paying £55 million for Ferran Torres. I'm sorry, you are supposed to be a broke football club. I mean, I have visions of the Barcelona employees being told to bring a packed lunch to work, that they probably have to borrow a local school bus to travel to away games. I mean, my school bus used to stink of acne, Capri Sun, and the foul stench of virginity. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting of Barcelona Football Club right now. Masque un club, more than a homeless shelter, more like. I'm expecting that the club have such little money in the piggy bank that the players are probably have to ask their mums to knit the corner flags. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Jordi Alba is told to go down to the local Catholic church and steal from the donation box. Yeah, instead of that money going towards building a hospital in the outskirts of Zambia, instead it's probably just going towards 3 weeks worth of shepherd's pie in the canteen. Christ above, Jared Piqué is probably telling his wife to busk on the streets of Girona to make some extra cash. I mean, Christ above, I would pay her not to sing. Have you ever listened to an album of Shakira? I'd rather stick pencils in my ears. But Barcelona are in such a perilous financial position. I mean, I'm surprised band Live Aid isn't doing a modern version just for them.
Do Barcelona know it's Christmas time at all?
Half the Barca B team are probably begging Santa Claus for some cash. I mean, never mind leaving out the carrot for the reindeer. No, for them, that's their bastard lunch. Or at least, this is what we've been led to believe. When I see the club signing Luke de Jong in the summer, Christ above, no club playing in the Champions League should ever be signing a footballer in 2021 who used to play under Alan Pardew. No, not even Carlos Tevez. I mean, he's 37 now, and probably has the fitness of an egg sandwich. But I mean, am I wrong? Come on, find me a former Alan Pardew employee who any ambitious club should sign in 2022. They don't exist. And don't you dare mention Daniel Sturridge. He just paid 20 grand to someone who probably stole his dog. And similarly, any ambitious footballer wants to sign for Barcelona in this condition, I'm sorry, what? I know they're one of the biggest institutions in football, but have you not been paying attention? They probably can't even afford cans of Pepsi for the vending machine in the lobby. I mean, they're currently halfway down the league, and we're out of the title race by October. Oh, and guess what? We're living in a world where Barcelona's European season will probably be shorter than West Ham's. Honestly, Napoli are going to eat them on wet toast, but I know what you're thinking. How can Barcelona afford £55 million for Ferran Torres? I mean, how can you sign off this financial catastrophe of a year with making the 8th most expensive transfer in the history of your club? I mean, does somebody want to explain that one to me? You're signing Torres for twice the fee you once paid for Ronaldinho, and it's just going on some Manchester City bench warmer. I'm sorry, but how? How can Barcelona actually pick up the phone thinking they can strike a deal with one of the richest clubs on planet Earth when they can't even afford pizza for dinner? I mean, it made sense during the summer when they clearly rifled through the bins outside the Etihad to bring in Sergio Aguero and Eric Garcia on a free. Although, to be fair, considering both transfers have been so disastrous, you'd think the club would have learned their lesson from just shopping from Man City's bench. Christ above, it's like going to some Chinese takeaway 2 weeks running, and guess what? After every bowl full of milky rice, you wind up vomiting your lungs into a toilet bowl. I mean, are you really going to go back for a third time? Clearly this Ferran Torres signing is going to be about as clever as tattooing a flaccid knob on your face. Oh yeah, have fun getting that job done at the local bookshop when you look like the inside of a toilet cubicle. I mean, at face value, when I see Barcelona chucking around such a fat paycheck for a new centre forward, I almost feel a bit betrayed. I mean, I've given my sympathy to Barcelona for the last year. Christ above, even their bargain basement freebies have been awful. Poor old Sergio Aguero had to retire after just one lousy goal. Come on, the club can't catch a break. Aguero, one of the greatest finishers on planet Earth, on a free transfer. In a backwards sort of way, that should have been a clever coup, right? Christ above, it's like a broke single mother doing her Christmas shopping by ruffling through the garbage of the local skip. And after an hour of raiding through tinfoil condoms and the skeletons of dead rats, to then somehow stumble upon a new top-of-the-range Buzz Lightyear toy for her son. Oh, it's a miracle, right? Except within an hour of playing with it on Christmas Day, his battery dies and the head falls off. I mean, the caliber of this club's transfer targets have fallen off a cliff for years. I mean, I think agreeing to write a £100 million paycheck for Ousmane Dembele, a man with all the end product of a clogged toilet bowl, I think that's just fried the president's brain. Because Aussie, in recent years, they've wanted to sign Odi Nagalo, Martin Braithwaite, and now even this season, I mean, I assume they'd barely be able to afford the wages of Charlie Adam, and he looks like he just gets paid in bags of sugar. Praise well, he looks like someone who just sleeps in a garbage bag outside the Dundee training ground. In recent weeks, they've been linked with signing strikers from Basel. I mean, Basel! Actually, to be fair, I'm not actually too sure why I'm reacting as if buying from Basel is like showering in the sink. Because to be fair, this club should have signed from Basel in 2014. I mean, if they had, then Mo Salah would probably now be the third highest goal scorer in the history of the club. You know, just behind Messi and Suarez. Well, what else? Yeah, recently you were begging a nearly 40-year-old Dani Alves to rejoin you nearly 7 years after discarding him like an old sock. I mean, a bit embarrassing to go crawling back to him, even after he's publicly criticised your club. I mean, it's like if Simon Cowell's business goes bust, and he winds up being a broke old man living in a bedstead above a sandwich bar, and now desperately just wants to offer Cher Lloyd a record deal. Just sad. Not only that, but the club are apparently interested in bringing Alexis Sanchez back to the club from Inter Milan's bench. Again, that transfer would be so depressing I might actually cry. He was signed in the summer of 2011, the same window where Manchester United passed up the chance to sign the Chilean in favour of bringing in Ashley Young from Aston Villa. So again, fast forward a decade, and Barcelona signing Sanchez now, it would be like Manchester United signing Young. I think Mark Goldman would react to that news by setting fire to his face. I mean, Barcelona agreed there was no room for Sanchez at the end in 2014, so signing him now as a crumpled bag of scrambled egg, scooping him off the San Siro bench. I mean, honestly, does nobody remember this man at Manchester United? He was like a ghost, just a walking lump of ready brick. I mean, why stop there then? Why not go and bring Cesc Fabregas back from Monaco, or Pedro back from Lazio, or Alex Song from the west coast of Djibouti? I mean, Xavi already wants to re-sign Mark Bartra from Borussia Dortmund. I mean, this is just desperate. This is the equivalent of realizing that you're a single middle-aged old man who can't even afford a cup of coffee anymore. Your life hasn't really panned out the way you want it to, and so you now just resorted to feeding bowls of shredded newspaper to your dog and choosing to rifle through your phone book, ringing up every woman you went to school with. It's just a bit sad. But anyway, Ferran Torres, I feel lied to. Personally lied to. I mean, it's like I've just given a tenner to a homeless man outside a bus shelter, and then within 4 hours, seeing him wearing a fur coat and drinking cocktails outside the Shards. Right now, Twitter is wondering how in a pig's left foreskin can Barcelona afford such a transfer? Well, it's simple. The club have taken out a €500 million loan from Goldman Sachs US investment firm, which they can pay back over 35 years. Yeah, this in the face of the powerful old men who've just saved Barcelona. Congrats, Barca. After everything you've achieved in football, after everything you've done for the sport, you've just had to be rescued by someone who looks like a middle-aged egg. Look at him, he's just some stuffy corporate businessman who looks like he irons his own socks. Just a middle-aged Humpty Dumpty. I mean, he looks like he's got the personality of a chair. I mean, you know he just shows his rich buddies this photo at the golf club just to prove he's cool. You've been bailed out by a nearly 60-year-old man who's got a YouTube music channel of less than 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, clearly he's Mr. Midlife Crisis. Barcelona, you've been bailed out by a 59-year-old man who makes dance music in his bedroom. I'm almost lost for words. But yeah, that's how Barcelona can afford the transfers. They just need to move some actual funds around to be able to actually afford Torres' wages under the La Liga salary cap. I mean, let's not forget, during the summer, Aguero wasn't allowed to be registered until Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba took a pay cut. I mean, bit awkward. You essentially had to beg 2 of your most senior players to accept less money so their mate could play. I'm guessing that was an awkward summer in the canteen. Just Busquets tucking into his lunchtime porridge whilst trying to avoid eye contact with Aguero. You know, it's a bit like trying to avoid conversation with the old woman who stinks of cat piss at the bus stop. No, please, I don't want to see photos of your grandson playing the violin. Not when you smell like an unflushed toilet. It smells a bit like if you try to cook lasagna and Cocoa Pops in a children's potty. It's almost getting uncomfortable how obsessed Barcelona are getting with Manchester City players. Only a few weeks ago, they were drooling over the prospect of signing Raheem Sterling on loan. I mean, if I was the Man City CEO, I'd be growing concerned. Clearly, Barcelona just wish they were Manchester City. I mean, don't think for 1 second that Joan Laporta wouldn't happily tear out his left eyeball to bring Guardiola back to the club. I mean, trust me, within a few months, he's going to realize that hiring a 40-year-old manager from Qatar about as sensible as eating your breakfast out of a dog's arse crack. But Barca, honestly, this is an obsession with Manchester City, an actual Gone Girl-esque obsession. I mean, Christ above, give it a year, and they'll probably have a Spanish Oasis tribute act playing pre-match songs in the Nou Camp pitch. And I guarantee you, by 2024, Kevin De Bruyne will have been unveiled as a Barcelona player. Trust me, this club, they are just obsessed. And as for Torres, listen, on paper, it's a good replacement for Aguero. He's 13 years younger, an exciting 21-year-old prospect in Spain, and he is decent in front of goal. But how do you free up the wages? I mean, look at Frankie de Jong. That man earns £354,000 a week. Has he been worth it? Has he balls? Ousmane Dembele takes home over £210,000 a week. To do what? Continually nurse a calf that looks like a bloated steak? Miralem Pjanic to be loaned out to Besiktas, and yet he still takes home nearly £250,000 each and every week, despite being about as fit as a sleepwalking cow. Samuel Umtiti, £200,000 a week to not play and just pick a fight with the Barca fans who are trying to jump on his car. And Coutinho, £150,000 a week for Philip Coutinho. I mean, he was branded as the next Xavi when he joined, but I'm guessing if you brought up those same comparisons now, Xavi would probably punch you in the face. Right, so clearly he thinks that Coutinho is about as much use to the Nou Camp pitch as Tyron Woodley is in a boxing ring.
Just throw a goddamn punch.
Anyway, that's a minute. Let me go. What do you think? All right, let me know about Barcelona. Are Barcelona going to crumple like a dead fish? Yes, probably. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.